everyone. Welcome to ABC Interactive English. I'm Mike.
And I'm Karen.
And today we're going to be looking at part A of our article all about making a bucket list.
Ooh.
Oh, I have a bucket in the bathroom. We use that one to wash the floor. There's a little bucket in the kitchen.
No, Mike, we're not talking about like a real bucket, okay?
I'm making a list of my buckets.
No, we're talking about some things that you would like to do before the end of your life.
Before I kick the bucket.
That's right.
Oh, right. Okay. Yes. When people talk about a bucket list, they're not making a list of actual buckets. Yeah, there's the expression to kick the bucket.
Yes.
I don't know why that's an expression, but it means to die.
That's right.
So if someone says it's on my bucket list or I'm making a bucket list, this is basically the wishes of the things you want to do before you die sometime in your life.
What's on your bucket list? I'm really curious.
That's I don't actually really have much of a bucket list. I did some interesting stuff as a kid, so I think that was kind of good for me. One thing though, I don't know if I'll ever do it. I don't even know if it's a good idea. I would like to sail across an ocean.
Okay.
Not in one of those big hotel cruise ships. I mean like a sailboat that moves around and I'm throwing up and it storms, and I want to be out on a sailboat and I want to look all around me and see no land for days.
Really?
Yes.
And that's on your bucket list?
It kind of is, but again, I don't know if it's a good idea. I don't know how I'll do it. I don't know where I can do it, but I would like to do it.
It doesn't sound very, very comfortable.
And I think 12 hours into it, I'd be like, this is a terrible idea. Blah. What about you? What would be on your number one, number two on your bucket list?
It has to be something really comfortable and then not too crazy. Maybe travel to like a really, really fancy like tropical island, stay in a really nice resort.
Maybe you can come on the sailboat.
Oh, I would never do that.
We can drop you off on the
Okay.
tropical island.
I'll take the plane.
How about that?
I'll
Okay,
take
well,
the plane.
I'll meet you there. You'll
Okay.
fly there.
When you, after
Okay.
done throwing up, you can come meet
Do
me
you
at the
do you
resort.
have a list of islands? Maybe someone out there, lives on one and they can invite you to their house.
Maybe. I don't know yet.
Hawaii?
I love Hawaii.
Fiji?
I love Fiji too.
Tahiti?
Ooh.
Places like that, though.
Yes, bingo.
That's a pretty good one to put on the. I think yours actually makes a lot more sense than mine. Anyways, let's have a look at making a bucket list in part A of our article. Edna and Carter are talking about a friend.
Did you hear the news? Adam passed away on Saturday.
What? No. He was so young and had so many dreams.
Yeah, he wanted to travel around the world. Now he won't get the chance.
All right, so we have actually two really interesting titles here, one for the whole unit and one for part A, which we're doing today. The unit is making a bucket list, and we kind of mentioned that making a bucket list is a list of things that you want to do, adventures you want to go on, experiences you want to have sometime before you die. It could be when you're young, when you're older and have more free time, but like, I would really like to do this at some time in my life. And then we see that it's a wake-up call. That's the name of this dialogue for today.
That's right, a wake-up call. When you see the word wake-up call, it doesn't really mean like someone is calling you to wake you up.
Like in a hotel, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But
Can you wake me up at 6 o'clock? And
No,
they'll call you and wake you up.
But I think in our dialogue today, wake-up call, it doesn't really mean that. Wake-up call meaning like, maybe like you're kind of waking up from your life. It's like, oh, then I must do something right now. It's like a change you feel or an improvement or something that you should make for your life, right?
Interesting.
Right?
Yeah, we do kind of use that to talk about sort of actions or events that change your life. Like if you think you're quite healthy, but suddenly you have a serious problem and the doctor says, well, unless you start exercising more, you could get really sick soon. That's kind of a wake-up call. It's kind of life poking you and going, hey,
You gotta change.
that's right. You got to start paying attention to these these important things. And, sometimes when we think about our bucket list or even dying, that can act as a wake-up call.
That's right. And in our dialogue today, Edna and Carter, these two people are talking about a friend.
I see. Okay, so let's find out what happened to make them start to think about having a bucket list. Well, Edna begins the dialogue.
Okay, I'll be Edna and then you be Carter.
All right.
Okay, Edna says, did you hear the news? Adam passed away on Saturday.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
What?
my goodness.
Their friend passed away? That means he died.
Oh, that's such a sad news.
That is really sad, yeah.
So when you say someone dies, you can also say that they passed away. Usually it's like a nicer way to say that someone has ended their life, right?
It's kind of softer, a little more gentle. Passed away, passed on.
That's right.
Something like that instead of just, he died. It's a little bit shocking. So passed away is a little bit nicer, a little bit more sensitive and kind. But no matter how you say it, this is still shocking news. And we can see from Carter's reaction, he is very surprised to hear this. He says, "What? No!" So this is the kind of thing you would immediately say when you hear terrible news that's also very surprising. And then the first thing he thinks is kind of, that's so sad. Or Carter says, he was so young and had so many dreams.
That's right.
It is sad for those reasons and more.
Yeah, exactly. No matter when you pass away, it's definitely a sad news for people around you, your friends, your families, right? So when Edna said, did you hear the news? That's our vocabulary word. When I say talk about the news in this sentence, I don't mean the news that we see on TV.
No.
It's like something that just recently happened, okay?
Right.
So did you hear the news about our friend?
No.
Did you hear what happened to our friend? That's what I'm asking.
Exactly. So sometimes we get the news by watching television or reading a newspaper. But, even on Facebook, you'll write news about you. I'm going on holiday. I got a new job. I'm getting married, or, something like that. So that's news about your friend. So, Carter was saying, he was so young. He had so many things to do. This is so sad. And Edna, of course, she agrees.
That's right. And then Edna says, he wanted to travel around the world. Now he won't get the chance. And I think to travel around the world, everyone knows that to travel means to go to different places for, pleasure, just to play. You can go to Japan, you can go to Taitung, you can go to Canada, different places. You can travel to different places, right?
Exactly, yeah. When we use travel, we generally mean a holiday. We could say business travel or a business trip, but if someone says he wanted to travel around the world, this means on holiday, having adventures, doing fun stuff, not going to meetings or something like that.
And I think traveling around the world is definitely on the bucket list of many, many people.
Oh, for sure. Or traveling to special places in the world.
You're right.
But yeah, holidays, going to new places, having new experiences, a great bucket list thing to do. Let's take a break and then we'll be back and hear more about what Edna and Carter are thinking about.
Hey, I want to do that too. In fact, I want to do many things before I die.
This is a wake-up call for us.
What do you mean?
Both of us want to do many things before we die. So we should make a bucket list.
That's a terrific idea.
Welcome back, everybody. Now we know that in our dialogue today, two people are having a conversation, Edna and Carter, and they hear this really, really sad news. Edna says that their friend named Adam had passed away, right?
That's right. He died, and apparently he was quite a young guy, and there were many, many things he wanted to do with his life or during his life, but now, of course, since he passed away or died, he won't be able to.
That is so sad.
Yeah, and they were kind of remembering that one of the things their friend really wanted to do was to travel around the world, take a holiday for maybe a few months or even longer and go to many countries all the way around the world. And as they were talking about that and remembering that was something Adam wanted to do, Carter, back in our dialogue, he says, hey, I want to do that too. Oh, okay, so he kind of had the same dream about this round-the-world holiday. Maybe he and Adam had talked about doing it together, traveling together or something.
True.
But then he kind of starts to think about other things that he would like to do. He says, in fact, this is Carter, I want to do many things before I die. Well, good for you, Carter. Yeah, life, as they say, life is for living. It's for doing all sorts of stuff. And yes, even though, we can be young and it feels like we have all the time in the world, we will all die at some time. And that's what this verb die means. It means when your life ends. At the end of your life, when you breathe your last breath and your heart stops or whatever, you die. And
That's
it's
right.
a sad thing, but I guess all living things die, don't they?
I guess they do, but it's always hard to say
is.
goodbye to people, who passed away or people who died, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, a lot of plants in my house die.
Actually,
I'm
same
terrible
here.
at taking care of them.
Me too.
So that's
I'm
a
not
little
good.
sad, but it's a lot more sad when someone you love dies, when your pet dies, and when someone close to us dies, maybe not your plant, but maybe someone you know very well when they die, it does make people kind of think a lot and
That's
think
true.
about their life because, he doesn't have any more time left. He died. I do.
What
but
should I do?
Exactly.
And that is why Edna says this is a wake-up call for us. Remember,
Exactly.
we explained the word
Yes.
wake-up call, right? So it's not just like, in the hotel, people call you and say, hello, it's time to wake up.
Okay. Thank you.
It's not like that. It's more like a wake-up call for your life.
Right, it's like
right?
life is throwing a bucket of cold water in your face, going, what are you going to do?
And then you have to start making some changes to make your life more fulfilled. Like you feel like more like you're happy. You'll be happier if you do certain things, right?
Absolutely. So yeah, if it's a wake-up call for you or for people you know, it's time to think again or think more carefully about what you're doing and what you plan to do. Now, Edna obviously is thinking about this. Carter's still not quite sure, so he says, what do you mean? In other words, can you explain a little bit more so I understand better? What do you mean by a wake-up call?
That's right. And then Edna continues by saying, both of us want to do many things before we die, so we should make a bucket list, right?
There we go. All right. So now Carter understands, and apparently he's heard this term, a bucket list, before, because immediately once Edna explains, he says that's a terrific idea.
That's right, and terrific is our next vocabulary word. When you say something is something very terrific, that means it's very, very good, wonderful, fantastic. So he thinks that this is a great, great idea. So he says, that's a terrific idea.
And as you said, he could have said that's an amazing idea, an incredible idea, a wonderful, awesome, stupendous, fabulous. There's lots of words in English for things that are really, really, really good, like terrific.
That's right.
All right. Well, we've had a terrific time with you guys today. Unfortunately, Adam did pass away, which isn't terrific, but it is terrific to have wake-up calls, to make bucket lists, to think about the adventures and experiences you want to have in your life. And we'll be talking about that much more tomorrow. So join us then.
See you next time.
Bye-bye. Edna and Carter are talking about a friend.
Did you hear the news? Adam passed away on Saturday.
What? No. He was so young and had so many dreams.
Yeah, he wanted to travel around the world. Now he won't get the chance.
Hey, I want to do that too. In fact, I want to do many things before I die.
This is a wake-up call for us.
What do you mean?
Both of us want to do many things before we die. So we should make a bucket list.
That's a terrific idea.
Hi， 大家好，我是 Stephanie。那我们一起来看单字。第一个呢是 news， 名词，消息。Frank has not heard any news from Layla since the breakup。自从分手后 ，Frank 就没有 Layla 的任何消息了。 第二个呢是 travel 动词，长途旅行。James traveled to Africa last fall. James 去年秋天到非洲旅行。那短程的旅行呢，我们会用 trip 来表示。The trip from Taipei to Maokong takes about an hour. 从台北到猫空大约需要1个小时。那第三个单字呢是 die 动词，死亡。The old man died peacefully in his sleep. 那位老人在睡梦中安详地离世。最后一个呢是 terrific 形容词，极好的。Rima thought of a terrific way to save money. Rima 想到一个省钱的绝佳方法。好，那我们今天的第一个文法重点是 pass away 过世去世。My grandfather passed away during World War II. 我爷爷在2次世界大战中去世。这个片语呢，它是死亡的委婉说法。第二个是 both of 加名词，点点点，两者都。我们先看第一个句子 ，Both of my parents like coffee. 我的父母都喜欢喝咖啡。Both 在这个句子里面呢，它代表的是我的爸爸和妈妈，所以它是代名词，两者两个的意思。那接下来我们再看一个 both A and B 表示既 A 又 B 的例句。My trip to Peru is both adventurous and delightful. 我的秘鲁之旅既冒险又令人愉快。在这里的 both 呢，它就是连接词，因为它连接2个相同词性的单字。好，那这就是今天的讲解，我们下次再见。
If you love nature, you must visit Taitung Forest Park. There are many tunnels and paths at the park. Hiking and birdwatching are popular activities here. Visitors can rent bikes at the entrance of the park. They can ride all the way to the international landmark. There are 3 beautiful lakes in Taitung Forest Park. Pippa Lake is clear like a mirror. Huoshui Lake, or Flowing Lake, is a favorite place for people to go kayaking or boating. Lu Shi Lake, or Egret Lake, was a swamp before. Taitung Forest Park is a great place to relax and enjoy nature.
See you next time!